Alrighty guys, it is the next morning. We've got our stringer of fish on the fillet board, and I'm gonna teach you guys quickly how to fillet crappie. My dad ended up catching a little perch. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna start with the perch because one, it's the smallest, and two, it's at the top of the stringer so I can get it out first. Not a bad little perch. He's a nice little guy. So you take this fin right here, is called the pectoral fin, and you pull the pectoral fin back and you find the gill plate right there. Oh, whoops. And then you cut directly down low. And also guys, I'm not using a traditional fillet knife. My fillet knife's actually lost, so we're using this kitchen knife. I sharpened it, but it's still not very sharp, so bear with me here. This may take a while because it's gonna be a little bit hard to cut in the meat. Okay, still not cutting down all the way yet. There we go, all right. We've cutting down. Then for most fish, you would take the blade, turn it 90 degrees and cut down. We're actually gonna take the fillet knife right up here and cut down like this, and then go down like that and cut along that backbone until eventually your knife pokes out kind of around where the anus is, and then you'll just fillet traditionally down the rest of the fish. There we go. So, but you're not done yet. So then you take the fillet, take it out the back like this, and then you'll cut down like that and slowly take that meat off the bone. And this is the process. It's gonna take a while if you don't have a sharp knife. Sorry guys, that GoPro does not hold still in a minute. I'm gonna get a better place to put it. This is gonna take a while if you don't have a sharp knife. So just be patient and eventually you'll get it. And voila. And then once you do that, you just cut it right off the meat. And boom, that's your perch fillet. Now you can see there's not a lot of meat. In fact, you can see the skin through the meat, and that's just kind of what you can expect from a perch. But these make some nice bite-sized pieces. These are perfect for like fish nuggets or fish tacos is what we're gonna make. But nice little fillet there. Now we're gonna do the other side. I'm also gonna run inside and grab a quick stand so that you're not like shaking around. So I'll go grab that. We'll finish filleting this, and then we'll get to the crappie. Alright guys, we've got the crappie here, and I'm going to show you how to fillet a crappie even though it's the exact same way as we would fillet that perch. So you take pectoral fin right here, pull it up. It may be a little stuck to your fish, that's okay. Cut directly down below that gill plate till you feel the backbone. Then take your knife up to the back and then cut down along that backbone, and you can feel that backbone on the knife. And then eventually, as you're going along, you're gonna be able to not feel backbone anymore. And then boop, you can poke right through, right about where the anus is, and then cut down. And then you pull this part up, and then you just start slowly cutting your way back to where you started. And that is how you fillet a crappie. It's the exact same way as a perch, except for that you might get a little bit more meat off of these guys. Holy crap, that was an awful fillet. Luckily, we have a ton of crappie to fillet. But there we go. I could have gotten a lot more meat off of him, but who knows? He'll make a great fish nugget. So now I'm just going to hurry and fillet the rest of these guys. I'm not going to waste your time and tell you how to do that. And then we're going to get to the cooking part. Alrighty guys, so I've skinned all the fish. You can see them right there. And now it is time to get this thing going. What this recipe is, it's a marinade. So basically what you do is you marinate all the fish in the sauce for a few hours, and then you take them out and add them to your fish taco, or just eat them, you know, like chicken nuggets. So I'm gonna show you how you can do this recipe. It's absolutely fabulous. Unless you like spicy stuff, then it probably won't be for you. You probably have all the ingredients at your house. So basically, we've got a 3/4 cup of, measuring cup actually. And this recipe is actually 4 chicken strips, but obviously we don't need that much, so we're probably gonna shorten it down a little bit. So instead of doing the full 3/4 cup of this, I'm probably gonna fill it probably 3/4 of the way of the 3/4 cup, which is actually kind of ironic there. Ah! Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm losing it. Whoa, that was way too much, way too much. Just gonna grab that. Don't put your hands in your stuff without washing it. I just set a very awful example there. So now we're gonna take our pot here that we are going to put all the stuff in and just dump it right in there. So now, the recipe that is for the chicken strips requires 6 tablespoons of this stuff, but I'm probably only gonna do 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of this stuff. Whoa, okay, that was a lot of hot sauce. I did take the cap off of this because in my opinion, there is such thing as too much hot sauce. I know there are some extremists out there who believe that there is no such thing as too much hot sauce, and I respect you, but in my opinion, there is such thing as too much hot sauce. I'm gonna go for 3 tablespoons. Because you want to have enough sauce to cover your fish. So you can eyeball it just as long as you have the right consistency from hot sauce to brown sugar. Just you can eyeball how much you add of each thing though. Make sure you add, you know, the same amount of brown sugar as there is hot sauce so that you can kind of make it all even. Then you take some, I need to find a spoon really fast. You need a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. There's one, probably gonna add a second one. There we go. All right, now we have everything. So now it's time to put it on the stove and get it boiling, and then we start the marinating process. So we've got it on the stove, and if you're using this tiny amount of hot sauce, you obviously do not want to use, you don't want to have it on there for a long time, so don't ever leave it. Just always be watching it, because the second that starts to boil, pull it off or else it's just gonna burn the whole thing. And you wasted all your ingredients. Just kind of stir it, and then the second it starts to bubble up a ton, we will be ready to move on to the next step. Okay, she just finished boiling after probably like 2 minutes of sitting there. We're gonna let her cool down a little bit, and then we're gonna put the fish and the sauce in the bag, and then we wait for a few hours, and then we start cooking it into something that tastes good. Okay, so it's done, it's cooled down, and now we have our fillets in a bag. And we're just gonna take this hot sauce, move that out of the way, and pour it into the bag. I made the mistake of sampling this with my finger, and let's just say there is a good, healthy proportion of hot sauce in here. Alrighty guys, I have all the ingredients all set up ready. We have some Ritz crackers, some milk, some salt and pepper, 2 eggs, some flour, and I have some oil heating up on the stove. So as you can probably tell, we're gonna fry these guys. When you're frying something, there's a major way to do it. You have a dry station and a wet station. You take your fillets, put them in the dry station, then in the, no, you put them in the wet station, then in the dry station, and then in the oil. That's the technique. I totally meant to get those mixed up. Now it is time to get all the ingredients poured into the right containers. Alrighty guys, so I did add a little bit too much of that. You obviously don't want to add that much, but I ended up adding a ton of milk, which is okay, but I think I added a good amount of dry stuff. So, it is time to get the fillets and dip them in their according bowls. Also, you want to make sure that you're using flour. If you watched my last catch and cook that I did, we actually used powdered sugar instead of flour on accident. So make sure that you know you have flour. I'd recommend tasting the flour or powdered sugar before you put it in. Look at those golden crispy fillets. Alrighty guys, as you can see, those are frozen tortillas. I'm gonna get these thawing so that tomorrow morning, before I head to school, we can have these fish tacos for breakfast. So stay tuned to the video guys, and I will see you guys in the morning. Alrighty guys, it is the next morning, and I have to go to school in probably an hour and a half roughly. So we have time to throw together a nice little fish taco. So I'm gonna show you guys an awesome recipe. Now, I put these fillets in the fridge and I just microwaved them this morning. They won't taste as good if you do it that way, but it still gets the job done. Tortilla. Any tortilla will work, depending on your preference. Now it's time to add all the ingredients to our fish taco. Spinach. Holy guacamole! Now you add the fish. cilantro, lime sauce, and then some Spanish word I can't read, but basically that is cilantro and ranch mixed. In case you couldn't figure that out on your own. Tartar sauce. Some tartar sauce. Wrap it all up like so, and you are ready to feast. Alrighty guys, it's time to sample this bad boy. My dogs are yelping in the background because they're so desperate for this fish. I'll give this to them afterwards if I don't eat it. So anyway guys, I thought I'd taste this bad boy, so I'm excited honestly. I think this is gonna be delicious. I'm gonna wash my hands really fast. Always wash your hands before eating stuff. That's like one of the #1 rules in the kitchen. Everybody knows that. Alright guys, it's time to take our first bite. Because I am honestly very, very excited. Alright, oh! Okay, it's good. That's good, it's really good. Obviously most of the ingredients I used are sauces that were cold in the fridge, and guacamole that was cold in the fridge. So to be like, honestly it tastes a little like cold. But if we were to take this and microwave it for like 2 seconds and heat up those sauces, it probably tastes like way good. This is gonna be an awesome lunch, dinner, or breakfast. Alright guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. I'm gonna put the camera down and enjoy this. If you want to see more videos, don't forget to click subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next video.